Throw it all away, your list of ambitions. That grand vision you talk about, every target you've ever scribbled down. They're not your ladder to power. They're your cage. That 5-year plan you crafted with such hope, it's a liability. The journals filled with pleas to some higher power for a better life. They're a confession of weakness. You've been sold a story. That clarity of purpose is the ultimate virtue. But examine the evidence. Has that fixed point on the horizon made you stronger? Or has it filled you with a quiet, gnawing dread? Has it given you command over your days? Or have you become a servant to an outcome you can't guarantee? History's most pragmatic thinker, Niccolo Machiavelli, the man whose name is synonymous with ruthless strategy, did not traffic in goals. He did not hope, he did not wish upon stars. He wielded something far more potent, something forged in the cold reality of human nature. He operated from a methodology. A goal is a dream you dress up as a plan. A method is an occupation of reality itself. And if you are weary of dreaming, if you're tired of reaching summits only to find them barren, then you are prepared for a harder truth. This isn't about improvement, it's about overhaul. This is about installing a new operating system for power. Most spend a lifetime in a state of anticipation, perpetually about to be. Waiting for the breakthrough, the recognition, the transformation. They inhabit the not yet. And because they live in the not yet, they are hollow in the now. They are brittle. A single twist of fate, one unexpected turn of fortune's wheel, and their entire structure shatters. Why? Their sense of self was mortgaged to a future event. Machiavelli saw the world for what it is. Chaos. He named it Fortuna, a raging, capricious storm. If you construct your identity on the shoreline called goals, you will be obliterated when the storm surge hits, and the surge always arrives. What I will show you is how to stop building on the shore and learn to command the weather. We will dismantle the fragile idol of goal setting and replace it with the iron law of strategic positioning. Master this, and you will cease to measure in success and failure. Those become childish terms. You simply advance. You become a geological force, unstoppable, because you are no longer targeting a single spot. You are expanding your territory. Batodo, Tissio, must eliminate the component within you that craves the fantasy, the part that gets its reward from describing grand plans at dinner parties. You must mute the inner child begging for a gold star and activate the inner general who demands sovereignty. The framework is clear, but execution is merciless. It demands you view your existence not as a narrative, but as a campaign. And in a campaign, you do not hope. You deploy. So, why do you fixate on goals? Dig deep. Why scribble, I want financial freedom, or I seek happiness? It's because you are in a state of lack. Your current reality pains you. So you invent an imaginary tomorrow to numb the present ache. The goal isn't a compass. It's an anesthetic. It dulls the sting of not being who you require yourself to be right now. Machiavelli held contempt for hope. He viewed it as a vulnerability. In his work, he suggests that trusting time to resolve your dilemmas is the strategy of a fool. He observed that men often prefer a comforting lie about the world to the brutal, honest truth. When you obsess over a destination, you develop a dangerous fixation. You gaze so intently at the distant summit that you miss the ravine at your feet. You grow inflexible. And in a chaotic world, inflexible things are the first to break. Recall your last major failure. What followed? Collapse. A crisis of identity. A feeling of fraudulence. Why? Because you invested your entire worth in an event outside your dominion. You surrendered your agency to the fickle future. Machiavelli proposed a different vector Weltag. Not moral Velto, but strength, skill, ruthless adaptability, and formidable competence. The person of Vertok does not declare, I want influence. That is a passive hunger. They state, I will master the art of narrative, understand the channels of authority, and position myself where decisions must flow through me. See the distinction? The first is a request to the universe. The second is an engineering project on your own circumstances. The goal setter relies on chance. I hope this works. The strategist relies on necessity. When you erase your goals, you aren't quitting. You are escalating. You audit your life and ask, where are the pressure points? Where am I vulnerable? Where do I leak vital energy? What forces oppose me? This is the metamorphosis from dreamer to sovereign. The dreamer stares at the stars. The sovereign surveys the bedrock. And currently, your foundation is compromised because you're too busy staring skyward. Stop gazing at the horizon. Study your position. Study your tools. What can you command at this very moment? What single system can you initiate today that renders a specific outcome unavoidable? Machiavelli teaches that the result is often fortune's domain. She spins her wheel, but the preparation, the contingency, the posture, that is your domain. And if your posture is impeccable, even a negative outcome cannot break you. You simply recalibrate. You adapt. You persist. This is the primary step toward becoming unassailable. You must divorce yourself from the fantasy of arrival and marry the discipline of the campaign. We exist in an age of noise. People broadcast their every intention. Launching my venture, starting my fitness journey. They post it, they proclaim it. They seek validation for motions not yet taken. Machiavelli would deem this tactical insanity. He wrote of the lion and the fox. The lion relies on pure strength, but is hizily trapped. The fox, weaker in force, sees and avoids the snares. For true power, you must be both, but with your deepest aims, you must be the fox. Announcing your aim achieves two destructive things. First, your brain gets a dopamine payoff. It grants you the chemical satisfaction of accomplishment without the labor. You feel a semblance of completion, and because you feel it, the driving hunger to actually execute diminishes. You've conned your own mind into satisfaction. Second, you manufacture resistance. The instant you declare a desire, you create adversaries, the envious, the doubtful, those who unconsciously need your failure to validate their own inertia. You give them a bullseye. Machiavelli advised a ruler to never uncover true intent until the moment of action. One must be a supreme performer of deception. Delete your aims from your social bios. Erase them from casual talk. Operate in absolute quiet. This isn't merely about secrecy. It's about thermodynamic efficiency. Speech dissipates energy. Action condenses it. Imagine you are forging a weapon. Do you discuss the display the blueprints? No. You forge it in darkness. You temper it with precision. The world learns of its existence only at the moment of impact. Beat that weapon. Replace your goal with a silent agenda. A goal is external. I need that promotion. A silent agenda is internal. I will render myself irreplaceable to the powers that be. Acumulate un asailable leveraje, and dictate the terms when the moment is optimal. Feel the shift in density. The goal is a plea. The agenda is a plot. When you function with a silent agenda, your presence changes. You sit in rooms not anxious to be noticed, but observant, calculating. You possess knowledge others lack. You are playing a game they haven't perceived has begun. This generates a magnetic field. People sense withheld power. It unsettles them. It commands a wary respect. They can't explain your calm assurance because you haven't given them the script. That unknown quantity is your advantage. Stop seeking applause for intentions. Starve your need for recognition. Nourish your hidden progress. Let the outcome be the only sound you make. Here is where most fracture. You pursue a target. You grind. You sacrifice. Then, reality intervenes. Illness strikes. The economy pivots. A relationship ends. The target vanishes. The goal setter implodes. It's unfair. They spiral. They feel targeted by chaos. The Machiavellian smirks. They smirk because they understand that fortuna, luck, fate, chaos is a force that admires being mastered. She is wild, indifferent, and cares nothing for your blueprints. If you hold a rigid goal, chaos is your nemesis. If you have a resilient system, chaos is pure potential energy. Machiavelli judged it better to be bold than cautious, for fortune favors the audacious. This means You must be aggressive toward circumstance. When the design fails, you do not halt. You assault the new landscape. Erase the concept of Plan A and Plan B. There is only the objective and the terrain. The objective is influence, autonomy, control. The terrain is the current reality. If the terrain shifts, you don't curse the map. You discard the map and read the ground. Example, you lose your occupation, the goal setter. My path to director is dead. I am a failure. The strategist. The terrain has altered. I am now unbound. My necessity is heightened. I will use this urgency to force a move into a higher leverage field I was too complacent to enter before. The event is identical. The response is inverted. One is defeated by reality. The other weaponizes reality. This is anti-fragile. You must posture yourself to gain from disorder. Don't construct a crystal palace. Kindle a blaze. Wind extinguishes a candle, but it energizes a wildfire. With goals, you are the candle, fearing the gust. With a power system, you are the fire. You crave the wind. You want the challenge, the chaos, knowing it will only make you burn hotter and spread faster. Ask yourself now, if I lost every tangible thing tomorrow, would I know my first move? If the answer is unclear, you are over-attached to your current comfort. You have gone soft. You must mentally rehearse the demolition of your status. Machiavelli endured exile. He was imprisoned, tortured, stripped of everything. Did he quit? No. He sat in the dirt and authored The Prince. He transformed his exile into one of history's most consequential texts. He didn't achieve his specific aim of returning to Florentine power as he envisioned. He accomplished something more permanent. He conquered the intellectual future. He used his anguish as ink. What are you doing with your anguish? Letting it fester, or refining it into fuel? We are counseled to practice self-love, to be gentle, to accept our flaws. And while rest is a tool, softness is a trap. Machiavelli posed a famous dilemma. Is it better to be loved or feared? His conclusion, one should wish to be both, but if one must choose, it is far safer to be feared. Apply this internally. Do you love yourself? Certainly. You permit the extra hour of sleep. You allow the distraction. You skip the critical work because the motivation isn't there. That is love, and that love is crafting a life of mediocrity. You need to fear yourself. Fear the part that chooses comfort. Fear the part that rationalizes compromise. Fear the specter of your future self, 5 years from now, holding nothing of substance. You must become your own most demanding sovereign. This sounds severe. It is, but observe the results of gentleness. Look at the cultural products of endless comfort. Weak wills, fragile focus, emotional brittleness. A Machiavellian leader imposes order upon chaos. You are the ruler of your own psyche, but right now, your mind is in revolt. Your impulses are insurgents. They crave cheap dopamine. They demand ease. If you try to love them into obedience, they will ignore you. You must suppress the insurrection, delete the goal of getting fit, install the doctrine of physical sovereignty. A sovereign does not negotiate with hijackers, and your cravings are hijackers of your potential. When you cultivate this internal fear, this profound respect for your own code, you stop requiring external motivation. You don't need a pep talk. You have necessity. You act because you must. Because the alternative is servitude to your own weakest impulses, and here lies the paradox. When you are merciless with yourself, you achieve authentic freedom. Discipline is the only true liberation. When you can command yourself to do the difficult thing and you obey, you access a potency no achieved goal can provide. You feel formidable. You enter a space knowing, I govern myself. Therefore I can influence everything here. Most cannot command their first hour of the day. How can they hope to command their destiny? Establish the law within. Your mind is your first kingdom. Draft your own constitution. I do not complain. I speak of plans only in retrospect. I do not react to provocation. I analyze its source. Violate your law and impose a consequence. Uphold it and grant a reward. Be a just ruler but an unshakable one. So, with goals deleted, what remains? What does the Machiavellian method look like at dawn on a mundane Wednesday? It crystallizes into 3 pillars: position, leverage, and fluidity. Position: stop asking, what do I want to achieve? Estar asking, where must I be stationed? If wealth is the aim, station yourself within the flow of capital. Don't target a dollar figure. Go to where those figures are transacted. Learn the dialect of that place. Adopt its protocols. If strength is the aim, station yourself in environments of resistance. Triumph isn't a race. It's a coordinates. Move your entire being to the coordinates, where your desired outcome is a natural consequence. Leverage goals are arithmetic. 1 + 1 = 2. Leverage is geometric. 1 + 1 = 100 Machiavelli. Didn't fight every battle personally. He used alliances, others' armies, others' resources. Audit your life. Are you using pure force for everything? How can you employ technology? Others, time. Others, capital. The strategist inquires, how do I achieve the maximum effect with the minimum necessary personal expenditure? This isn't it's strategic conservation, hoarding energy for the decisive action. Fluidity. Wake each day and diagnose the field. Diagnose the market. Diagnose your own reserves. If depleted, do low-energy strategic work planning, research, networking. If energized, execute high-intensity tasks. Do not force a rigid action because a calendar square says so. Be fluid. If the gate is locked, scale the wall. If the wall is too high, tunnel under it. If the earth is stone, wait for the storm to crack it. Never cease motion, but never fear changing its vector. This framework is simpler because it sheds the emotional burden of failure. You cannot fail if you are perpetually adapting. You can only be tactically delayed, and delay, to a strategist, is simply time to hone the edge. When you delete goals and adopt this method, a change manifests in your demeanor. You lose the look of hunger. You cease appearing to chase. You begin to seem as if you possess. People are pulled toward certainty. In a world of anxious goal setters, the individual with a system is the de facto ruler. You become the storm's eye. Calm, collected, observant. While others sprint and shout about quarterly objectives, you are silently laying the cornerstone of a dynasty meant for decades. You stop getting intoxicated on the fantasy of tomorrow and start getting empowered by the dominion of this hour. Every action becomes a ritual of agency. Every silence becomes a tactical placement. Every obstacle becomes a lesson in geometry calculating the angle of advance. This is the way of strategic realism. It is not for the many. It is austerity. It is solitary. It demands you euthanize the part of you that longs for rescue. No one is coming. No target will save you. Only you can, and you will accomplish it not by wishing, but be. Now, you are alert. You have stared into the depth of your own potential and held the gaze. But grasping the philosophy is merely the initial maneuver. The mind is a cunning servant. It will attempt to revert to old scripts. It will try to set a goal by breakfast tomorrow. You must monitor it. You must guard the command center of your consciousness. There is one particular snare that dismantles even sharp strategists. It is the trap of emotional seepage the instant you let sentiment corrupt your strategy. Machiavelli cautioned against this above all else. In our next session, we will dissect the precise method to detach from emotion so completely that you become impervious to all manipulation. You believe you understand calm. You have no conception of true operational stillness. That is the next frontier. Click to advance. Let's go deeper.